from Gwalior Mansik Arogyashala. I am President. All doctors, students who took out their valuable time and joined us today to be a part of this workshop. We are honored to have you all with us. It's a moment of great privilege and honor for me to welcome you all today. I would also like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to organize such an utmost important workshop in order to formulate plans for effective functioning and betterment of Gwalior Mansik Arogyashala. As we all know, mental health is one of the neglected fields all over the world, especially in developing countries. Due to many reasons, people still think mental illness is nothing, it's just a curse of God or due to some supernatural power. And huge discrimination and stigma is attached with it. In view of increasing burden of mental health disorders, there is utmost need to escalate the functioning of mental health institutions and need to be upgraded as tertiary level of care institute. In my presentation, I would like to highlight the transition of Mansik Arogyashala from lunatic asylum to center of excellence, what we have achieved in the past and what are our future goals and what problems we are facing. So before formulating any plan for an institute, for a state or country, we need to understand what is the burden of disease, problem, what resources we have, what structure we have, and what budget we have. Mental health, we all know, it's not just merely absence of mental disorder. It's a state of well-being in which every individual knows his potential to work efficiently, to cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively, and can contribute to her or his community and family. Mental disorder affect nearly 12% of the world population. About 450 million or 1 out of every 4 people around the world will experience the mental, neurological, and substance use disorder that would benefit from the diagnosis and treatment. Severe mental disorder that includes schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, organic psychosis, and major depression affect nearly 20% of 20 per thousand population. 75% of affected people living in many low-income countries, and there is no access to treatment. As per the National Mental Health Survey, it was conducted in 2015-16 by National Institute of Mental Health in conjunction with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. 10% of Indian population are suffered from any kind of mental disorder, psychiatric morbidity. Severe mental disorders are around 1%. And 3 out of 4% with severe mental disorder experience significant disability in their work, social, and family life. National Survey on Extent and Pattern of Substance Abuse in India. It was conducted in 2019 by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment in collaboration with AIMS. Alcohol dependence was present in 3 crore population. The result was similar for cannabis and opioid use. So, National Crime Bureau 2019 reports that around 1,40,000 people committed suicide in 2019, and 16 suicide. It rates the 16 suicide per hour at least. Mental illness generally affect the productive age group of the people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, which is the age when the person takes education, enjoy the family life. But if there is a person suffers from chronic mental illness, it renders him unemployed, dependent, and helpless in the society. Economic burden is very huge. Economic cost of care of a person with mental disorder is nearly 1,000 to 1,500 a month, mainly for treatment and travel access. The burden was reportedly higher in middle-aged individuals, where disability due to mental illness significantly affects their productivity, resulting in a sizable economic impact in a cumulative manner to country. On the other hand, we are having problem with the shortage of human resources. We need 12,000 to 15,000 psychiatrists, and we have only 4,000 to 5,000 psychiatrists. Number of psychiatrists, social workers, and clinical psychologists are still worrying. In the Madhya Pradesh, it's 0.05 psychiatrists per lakh population. It was, and hardly we can say the bars of clinical psychologist and psychiatric social worker in this state. Regarding mental health system, it was also assessed in that national mental health survey, and we see in the Madhya Pradesh we are still lagging in terms of mental health policy. Budget for mental health, training programs for mental health, and IEC activity, awareness program, which are utmost important to access the mental health services. So this all leading to mental health treatment gap. Around 75 to 85% population in developing countries are not having any access to treatment. When we talk about mental health in India, the asylum care was developed by during the British era by British India Company for the British soldiers and British nationals. In 1947, country had 17 psychiatric institutions and 10,000 mental hospital beds. Even after 70 years of independence, we have less than 25,000 beds. Until 1980s, mental health care provided largely through the mental hospitals and standalone psychiatric institutions. But India was one of the first countries to make a pledge to promote the mental health of its people. This was done through the National Mental Health Program to initiate the community mental health services. It was started in 1982, later on revised in 2003, and district mental health programs were the part of National Mental Health Program, just to ensure the availability and accessibility of the services and to initiate the community participation. Because it is very important part of the psychiatric care, it will not entirely cure the psychiatric problem in the mental hospitals. Community participation is very necessary. Later on, to fight the scarcity of human resources, in 2006, the Union Health Ministry announced its proposal to set up a center of excellence in the mental health in 11 states in the country. Later on, 10 hospitals, 10 states were also included. This scheme is intended for the manpower development in the field of psychiatry to tide over the acute shortage of psychiatrists, clinical psychologists, psychiatric nurses, psychiatric social workers across the country. When we talk about especially about the Madhya Pradesh, as per the mental health survey, in the state of MP, 13.9% of total population suffered from various mental disorders. Mental health care is provided by the district mental health program, General Hospital Psychiatry Unit, and we have two mental hospitals, one in Gwalior and second in the Gwalior Mental Hospital is the largest mental hospital. Its bed strength is 212, and we have OPD 150 to 200 patients per day. It is under the administrative control of State of Madhya Pradesh Department of Medical Education and working as autonomous body. It was established in 1935 as a lunatic asylum. Bed strength was 30. Later on, bed strength was increased and it was named as the Mental Hospital Gwalior and came under the Health and Family Welfare in 1980s. During this time, there were inhuman living conditions of inmates and the poor treatment facilities existing in the mental hospital across the country. Many public interest litigations were filed in Honorable Supreme Court. In response to these PIL, Honorable Supreme Court intervened in this matter and ordered to improve the living condition and treatment facilities of mental hospital in Gwalior, Ranchi, and Agra. Honorable Supreme Court also instructed to respective government to develop these hospitals into a teaching institute. As per the Gazette notification on 25/10/94, name of this hospital was converted to Gwalior Mansik Arogyashala, and the management committee was constructed under the chairmanship of Commissioner Gwalior for the policy decisions. The aim of this transition was to develop into a teaching institute. Since 1994, it is under the supervision of Honorable Supreme Court, and since 1997, on behalf of Honorable Supreme Court, National Human Rights Commission is instrumental in monitoring and progress of Gwalior Mansik Arogyashala. We have sufficient land. The statutory area is 11,000 square meters, so we have sufficient scope to expand our structure and services. This is our OPD block, and female ward which I have taken with you yesterday. We have conference hall for the students for teaching purpose and library for the students. And what services currently we are able to provide? We are providing two kinds of services. One is the improved quality care for our patients, modified ECG, psychological assessment and treatment, social worker services. Along with, we are also providing teaching, training for the postgraduate student, research, publication, all disciplines of psychiatry. We are providing biological treatment with the help of drugs and psychological medications. We are having OPD, closed and open ward care. Recently, we have started specialty clinic for children, geriatrics and drug addicts. We are giving modified ECG work and basic pathology and radiology laboratory. Psychological management we are doing by psychological assessment and psychotherapy by the trained counselor or clinical psychologist. We are also doing some sort of psychiatric social work services like basic vocational training, rehabilitation, token economy program, community awareness program. And we have halfway home, female halfway home for those patients who have been recovered and they are on the way to their home. And we have long stay home for one long stay home started by the extraordinary efforts of our chairman, sir, for the female. It is currently 25 bedded, we need to expand it for the 50 bedded. These are the medications which we are providing free of cost to our patients, both in IPD and OPD. These special clinics for the children where we are treating the developmental problem of children like autism, ADHD, mental retardation, etc. But we are in the nascent phase of this program. It needs a high escalation, high super specialty clinic basically. So it needs very upgradation. It is required. This is electroconvulsive therapy unit. Basic laboratory services we are providing. This also needs to be upgraded. The psychological labs, we have IQ test, personality, projecting, obvious battery, so all diagnostic assessments we are able to do for our patients. Basic rehabilitation program, recreation and occupational activity we are doing. The male and female both are separately, like singing, dancing, gardening, making, jewelry making, paper, corner making. But we need to escalate because rehabilitation is very important aspect of the psychiatric care. The patients who are making this kind of products, we generally display them in the Gwalior trade fair. And whatever money we gathered, we give at the time of to the patients at the time of their discharge. We have Mela halfway home, and we need a male halfway home too. And this is the long stay home, where 25 patients are living. 5-6 patients we have discharged from this long stay home. In addition, community awareness program is very important. Unless people know about the what psychiatric care is available, where the services are available, they may not reach to the services. So whatever existing services we have, they may not be utilized completely. So it will increase the treatment gap. So just to make the people aware of the society, we generally do multiple IEC activity. And every year we celebrate World Mental Health Day, even the World Mental Health Week. Every day we conduct some programs to aware the people like, and we conducted a hybrid CME on the topic of World Mental Health Day every year. And different type of picture making competitions and role play in the public places. In addition to, because of stigma, people are not coming to the mental hospital for minor problems. So, under training of medical officers, so there is a need to integrate mental health services into the general health care services. So, in this program, we have trained 8 batches of doctors who are working in the district hospital and 89 medical officers we have trained till now. 1 month training we have given to these doctors and they are running the months at the district hospital. So at least for minor problems, common mental health disorder, patient may wish to at least they will get some sort of treatment or some sort of psychiatric care. What we have achieved in the last 5 years, we are running Center of Excellence program from last 6 years. We have started PG courses in almost all disciplines of psychiatry, MPhil clinical psychology, MPhil psychiatric social work under this Center of Excellence program, and diploma in psychiatric medicine. Although for starting these courses, our former director, Dr. Jyoti Bindal, has put extraordinary effort. Recently, we have applied for MD psychiatry course in December 2021, applied for 4 seats, and National Medical Commission inspection completed on this month, 6 July. But despite running all these services, we are facing some sort of difficulties in establishing of existing plans. Difficulties related with fund, difficulty in establishment of aims of COE project. We are running with limited manpower, and there is a discrepancy between pay scales of medical colleges, mental hospital, difficulty in proper disposal of recovered patient, problem related with nursing home, difficulty in providing proper sanitation and hygienic environment to our patient, which is their basic right. Whatever fund we are receiving in the form of grant, it is barely sufficient for salary of staff and routine expenses of patient, food, medication, repair, and security. We have no little amount is available for the renovation of infrastructure, maintenance work, library, books, stipend of PG students, and purchasing instruments. There is a need to get stipend also for the PG MPhil clinical psychology student, social worker student, similar to the other states. Center of Excellence project started in 2016. There is approved infrastructure development under Center of Excellence project. Mansik Arogyashala is supposed to get rupees 19 crore from the central government to develop new infrastructure in Nepal. Due to non-availability of fund, difficulty in establishment of aims of CE project, in addition, faculty hired under this project cannot be hired in this project. So the courses being run under this project are at risk due to non-availability of teaching staff. There is the utmost need to revive this project soon for the betterment of patients and future of the students. Mansik Arogyashala is working currently 50% of nursing staff and 33% of doctors. Recruitment process also going on. Soon we will be able to vacate. Establishment will be replenished. Issue in the recruitment of clinical psychologists and psychiatric social worker need to be resolved. Salary structure and basic qualification for the discipline should also remain similar to the other state and institution. Recruitment for this faculty is utmost necessary because psychotherapeutic treatment of our patient and teaching purpose this is very utmost required. There is a discrepancy between establishment of medical college and Mansik Arogyashala. More than 25 years, Mansik Arogyashala is under medical education department. Faculty is still working on 6 pay scale. The name of Mansik Arogyashala was not added in the revised pay scale in 2003. Teaching faculty of Mansik Arogyashala should be considered equal and similar to the faculty of other medical college and would liable to get similar salary and benefit of medical teachers. Mansik Arogyashala should also get a copy of important orders released from the Finance and Medical Education Department. There is a long list of recovered patients which are not the difficulty of these patients reintegration in the society. There is a long list of patients who have been recovered, but family members are not taking them back to their family. Problem is more with female patients. Around 50 to 60% patient does not need hospital stay. Long stay home good option for them, but it may not be the substitute of their family and home. There is a need changes at the policy level. This is the list of long stay patients. Around 50 patients we are having that are staying for more than 10 years. Problem with the nursing home is also existing. It's a 40-bedded home for intellectual disabled children. It is transferred to Medical Experience Department 2013 under Gwalior Mansik Arogyashala. There is sufficient land available which can be used for the betterment of these patients if the boundary is covered properly. Staff deficiency and problem with budget need to be addressed for effective function. there is difficulty. We are also facing difficulty in proper sanitation and hygienic environment to provide our patients. Damage due to damage and old sewage system, old infrastructure, access patient to existing bed strength require expansion and existing infrastructure. So let's see what our future plan. Renovation work need to be done to the old structure, drainage and sewage line, main close ward, modernization of kitchen, existing staff quarter, hostels and housing home. New construction is required to create special ward for children, lactating mother and old person. Hostels are required for the boys and girls who will be coming for training program, MD and clinical psychology, and staff quarter will be required when we would expand our psychiatric unit. This is the proposed plan under Center of Excellence program. In view of increasing number of substance abuse disorder, there is a need to establish a de-addiction center along with Mansik Arogyashala, or either in the premises or in the city elsewhere. The treatment facility in private de-addiction center is very pathetic. Very often patients being treated inhumanly. Detailed project of our establishment 50-bedded drug de-addiction center has been sent to the state government. The crisis of human resources need to be addressed urgently. There is need to fulfill the deficiency of doctors and nurses. To psychiatry, we need to increase our psychiatry unit to increase the PG seats, because in this division, Gwalior division, there is no institute conducting PG program, MD program, even not in the medical college. So this is the mental hospital here, which can develop the human resources and doctors to provide psychiatrist at district level. For this PG courses, we need one SR and two non-PG JRC need to be created to fulfill National Medical Commission norms. Clinical psychology and psychiatric social work unit need to be expanded as a separate department. So there is a need to create higher post, associate and professor post for better functioning, better training in this department. MSc psychiatric nursing training courses we are started. We are starting this process. There's a need of integrated yoga center. Basically, it's a team project of Dr. D.N. Gangadhar, former director AIMS. He has a lot of work on the yoga and mental illness. So there is every mental hospital is required to establish an integrated yoga center, which would be operated from the Netherlands. Need to be established in hospital premises. Detailed project has been sent to state government. Every year we celebrate International Yoga Day along with our patients and staff. Rehabilitation services definitely need to be improved. There is a need of separate rehabilitation unit or center need to be established, improving rehabilitation services of the patients. Training in unskilled and semi-skilled work like bakery, gardening, carpenter work, supervised work, assistance work, occupation therapy center, community services, satellite clinic, or outdoor camps, treatment and telepsychiatry services may be required. There is a 2025 seated vehicle for the patient tour. This can be is required for the outdoor tours. Ambulance of patient to visit here for medical problems is also required. So there is a need for greater investment and greater access. Good mental health is critical to the functioning of society. To strengthen mental health services, there is a need to understand the clear burden of mental disorder as well as the existing resources and services. According to WHO, Mental Health Atlas 2014 survey, government spent on an average 3% of their health budget on mental health, ranging from less than 1% in the low-income countries. WHO states that every US dollar put into scaled-up treatment for common mental disorder, there is a return of $4 in improved health and productivity. Despite hundreds of millions of people around the world dealing with the mental disorders, mental health has remained in the struggle. To achieve the goal of high standard in the quality of care and improved outcome, it is essential that the health systems are strengthened and made responsive to changing health priorities and concerns. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a huge round of applause for Dr. Sanjay Arya. Thank you so much. Now I invite guests and speakers for next sessions. So at first, I humbly invite our chief guest to today's function, Honorable Justice Mr. Arun Mishra, Chairperson, National Human Rights Commission, with a request to please come on the stage again to occupy his place. Welcome again, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please आप तालियों के साथ हमारे मुख्य अतिथि जी का पुनः स्वागत करें। बनी रहनी चाहिए। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। Thank you, sir. Now I humbly invite Mr. Mahesh Mittalji to have his seat on the stage again. पुनः तालियां रुकनी नहीं चाहिए जब तक कि हमारे सारे अतिथि मंच पर न आ जाएं। Now I invite Dr. Jiten sir to please come on the stage and have your seat. Dr. Jiten Chand sir. Next, I would like to call upon the stage Dr. Atul Goyal, sir. Please, sir, have your seat here. Ladies and gentlemen, the next dignitary to honor us with his presence is Mr. Pratik Arogyashala. I'm glad to invite him onto the stage.